It's been a season of accomplishment.
What a wonderful night, a career high. Allison Northey ends up winning the all-around.
A season of close calls.
Nailed it!
What a day it was for California. A year filled with both success and failure. And for a select few, it's been a season of perfection.
Tony Ann Williams with the second perfect 10 of her brilliant freshman season.
Now it all comes down to one more day. One final chance to perform like a champion. The Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships starts right now. Blows down from the Wasatch Front, welcoming you to Salt Lake City, where today the best gymnasts in the country, all under one roof at the same time. Welcome to the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships, live on the Pac-12 networks. Hi everybody, welcome to the best day of the year. Jim Watson alongside Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden. All 8 teams over the next 10 hours. A lot of cheers, a lot of tears, and we will decide Pac-12 champions. First session is seeds 5 through 8, but we've had winners come out of this before. Make no mistake, Amanda, the champion, the team champion, individual winners can start right now.
That's right. All 8 of these teams are very strong. In fact, almost all of them have put up at least one score that could put them in contention to win this.
Yeah, it's not only the best day of the year, it's also the longest day of the year. All 8 teams will be in competition. We're going to break it into 2 sessions of 4 teams each. The seedings, by the way, are based not on the rankings, but on the regular season standings. 7 conference teams right now in the top 25. You'll see 1 through 4 later tonight, again live right here on the Pac-12 networks. Here's who to watch for, beginning with number 22, Washington, junior Allison Northey, 12 wins, and she's ranked number 11 in the all-around.
And that is the highest ranked all-arounder in this conference. She's the only all-arounder for Washington. As a junior, she has really found confidence and consistency and has become a true leader for this Washington team.
Allison Northey certainly is a contender to win the Pac-12 all-around championship. California, number 20, and how about the amazing freshman, Tony Ann Williams? Amanda, she has 29 wins this year.
Well, I would describe her as a freshman phenom. She has scored 2 perfect 10s on this event, the vault, nailing those landings, and delivered some big scores on all 4 events. She is dynamic, powerful, and I would say very fun to watch.
Tony Ann Williams, definitely the favorite for freshman of the year in this conference. Arizona State has been a rebuilding year, but how about Taylor Alex, the junior, who put up the highest all-around in Gym Devil history, at least over the last 4 years, and she did it in this building.
Well, she transferred from the University of Utah, and that all-around score, not just impressive, it was her first time competing all 4 events, and I think it was a turning point for her and for this Arizona State team. They have improved consistently since that point in the season.
For Taylor Alex, coming back to Salt Lake City. University of Arizona, number 17, Shelby Edwards, the junior, the co-champion of the vault from last year.
Well, she's battled some small injuries this year, so she's only competing on this event, the vault and the balance beam. Arizona coaches said that since the beginning of March, she has improved her shapes and her routines, and of course her scores, and that's exactly what Arizona is going to need in today's competition.
They work and plan all year long for this single day. And for the lower seeds, they're also battling for respect and revenge. It's the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships, live from Salt Lake City on the Pac-12 networks.
This Pac-12 Gymnastics production is brought to you in HD by Xfinity, Time Warner Cable, Cox, and Bright House.
The Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships is presented by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. One of the many beautiful vistas here in Salt Lake City, that is Legacy Bridge. They built that for the Winter Olympics back in 2002. On campus at the University of Utah, State Farm presents the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships inside the John Huntsman Center. They're expecting probably 25,000 people to come through here today. We will begin with Arizona and head coach Bill Ryden, who's in his 17th season in Tucson. He's led every squad to the regionals. In fact, Utah as a school has gone 28 years in a row. He's coached 15 All-Americans, 29 All-Conference honorees. And Arizona begins with Amber Wabma, the senior from Rockford, Michigan, who has a season high of 9.85, and she's hit that number 2 different times, one on a big stage against #1 Oklahoma. So the pressure should not get to her. Arizona needs to be almost flawless today. They're missing their biggest star.
Well, she's starting with a very easy vault for her, and Lea Yurchenko. That doesn't start from a 10.0, and one of the reasons is because of the loss of Ali Flores. They had to put her in the lineup. The good news is she can do a layup full. They do hope to have that in for postseason. You can see she has a lot of potential here. Nice form in the air. It only starts from a 9.8, so even if she was perfect and stuck that landing, the highest score she can get is a 9.8. That is the vault they're going to hope to throw out. Remember, 6 go, only 5 scores count.
You see on the left side of your screen, young woman dancing, and that is Ali Flores. We've enjoyed watching her for the last 4 years. She is the co-vault champion, but will not be in action today. She was injured in their final meet, and her season has come to an end. California begins on the uneven bars. California is number 20 in the country. They have had an up and down year, but this is a team with a lot of potential. Emily Richardson starts on the bars, coming off a career high in her last meet, 9.85.
Big combination right here. Tkachev directly connected down to the low bar. Anytime you connect 2 releases, gets added bonus points. Very difficult, beautiful handstand. Finishing big double layout and a strong landing. We know what the judges are looking for on the bars. It's the clean form, nice handstands, and of course that exclamation point at the end, the stuck landing.
Over to Washington, who begins on the balance beam. The Gym Dogs of UW, number 22 in the country. This is the best team they've had in a decade. They start on the most difficult event. Stephanie Stowe, sophomore, Mesa, Arizona. Her best on the balance beam, 9.875.
We know this event is difficult at any point in the competition, but what makes it so hard to start on is you come out of the gates with all this adrenaline, and you've got to stay in control. Right here, starting it off. Beautiful front aerial to the back handspring. That meets the tumbling requirement. 2 elements connected directly. Every gymnast required those tumbling elements along with the leaps and jumps. They have to earn 5/10 back in bonus by the connection elements.
Stephanie Stowe, like most gymnasts, has had the fate of high and low scores on the balance beam. Her lowest at 9.55, her highest at 9.875. It is the most challenging event and usually decides the meet, and today could decide the championship.
Well, and she looks confident. That first person up on this event is so key, and she did her job.
Nice
Nailed
job.
that routine.
Yeah, Stephanie Stowe, and just a sophomore. That was Elise Ray jumping up for the first hug, 2000 Olympian, and assistant coach to Joanne Bowers at Montlake. Arizona State begins on the floor. Stephanie Maselli. Arizona State has a brand new coach, Renee List. Things have changed. They've gone through some tough injuries. They've been patching their lineup. Stephanie Maselli is coming off her season high on this event against Air Force last time out.
Very fun routine to watch. Lots of personality. Opening a routine with that double pike. Strong landing there. Typically see the athletes performing 3 tumbling passes. This one a combination, 2 front layouts connected. Like I mentioned on the balance beam, every gymnast has to earn 5/10 back. They can earn that through connection as well as the big elements like that opening tumbling pass.
We should see a lot of Stephanie Maselli today. She's scheduled to go in the all-around. She's been in the all-around every meet this season, but her last meet against Air Force was her best so far this year. 3 season highs in that meet alone.
safe. She looked a little off balance there on that combination. Unique finish there at the end. She started this routine out very strong with that opening double pike. Nice position right here on the takeoff. She was able to get just enough rotation for a clean landing. Overall, a good start for Arizona State.
Stephanie Maselli, junior, Bethpage, New York, the 2012 regional all-around champion. We go back to the vault. Arizona, Selena Felix Terrazas, sophomore, homegrown kid from Tucson. And as a season high on this event, in her last 2 meets.
Nice height there. The judges are going to see that vault all day long. The Yurchenko layout full, so judges are going to look for that clean form in the air. And of course, that landing.
We'll post the scores as we go along. Emily Richardson for California opens with the 9-8. Jordan Widener will be in just one event today, and this is it. Junior from Snohomish, Washington. Her career high is a 9.875, but she's been real consistent. 4 scores of 9.8 or better.
Another big combination right at the top of this routine, connecting all those elements together. Their bar routines seem a little bit short, and that's because they're doing those elements in combination. All that's left then is the dismount. A little short there, that big step forward.
Washington back on the beam. You can always tell the beam athletes just by the close-up. They seem the most serious.
Yeah, there's not a lot of smiling when you're mounting this event, but it's been fun to watch these teams, and every athlete has their own way of kind of getting into the zone when it comes to the balance beam.
A 9.75 earlier for Stephanie Snow, and this is Jocelyn Goings. Her season best is a 9.825. Freshman from Phoenix.
Strong tumbling pass, back handspring layout, step out. Beautiful flexibility on the straddle jumps. Beautiful. She looks very confident. Tight landings.
I was talking with some of the coaches earlier today, and we all agreed that sometimes freshmen have an advantage in big meets like this because it's all so new to them. They don't know enough to be nervous yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you have a freshman that can come up and handle the pressure, first event out on this event, that's somebody you're going to keep in your beam lineup for definitely the next 3 years. Difficult dismount right here. Side aerial directly connected to that full twist and a clean landing. Very nice routine.
Jocelyn Goings going to have a busy day. Besides the bars, she'll also be seen on the vaults and the balance beam. So 3 events for her. Maselli 9.65 for Arizona State. Kristen Levin started the year in the floor lineup. The first 2 meets, has returned for the last 3. It is coming off her best score, again, in the last meet against Air Force.
Opening double pike. You can see that mat she landed on, they slid that off. They are allowed to use matting on the floor. You see they have to mark the edge to make sure that they stay in the bounds.
She had a lower leg injury early in the year, and so that limited her to a lot of bars, but now she's back at full strength. See that wrap on the left leg going all the way up the calf. Scheduled to be her only event today, so no need to hold back. junior from Lake Zurich, Illinois, majoring in biology in her spare time. As if gymnasts ever have spare time, she makes blankets for children's hospitals.
Oh, wow. Great save there on that last tumbling pass. Looked like she turned a little bit early, didn't generate enough rotation, but she was able to pike it down and stay on her feet.
Maybe just got a little winded there in the last 30 seconds.
But we talk about that here in Utah. The altitude definitely affects the floor exercise.
.9725 for Felix Terrazas. All of the scores have been a little muted so far. Now here's Gabby Lobb, sophomore from Oklahoma. Career high 9825, but she has 6 scores of 9.8 or better on vault. There's another one.
Beautiful.
And there's Bill Ryden coming right into the shot with a high 10. He was the first one there.
Well, that was clean into the table, which is always important because that's going to affect that after flight right there. Nice height, good distance, and a clean landing. You can see when the judges watch this over and over, it's going to separate each vaulter by the distance, the alignment, and of course, the landing.
9.8 for Richardson, 9.75 for Widener. Amber Takara is next up, sophomore from Tacoma. She was in high school, she broke her hand. She has 2 screws that were inserted in just to pin it back together. Gymnasts go through an incredible amount of sacrifice and pain.
Wow, big release moves there. She really extended her reach on that major release.
Yeah, when you hear the crowd in Utah gasp, they know their gymnastics. Oh, that's a great routine for Takara.
Strong finish, full twisting double back. She was very aggressive throughout that entire routine. There was no holding back, every skill to its full potential. She opened with those big releases, but finished just as strong. Watch the height there, full twisting double back. Spots the ground, chest is up. We always say when coaches' arms fly in the air, it's a good sign.
She's coming off a career high against Davis on this event. She posted a 9.9, and she might threaten that number. That was very clean. A pair of 9.75s for Washington on beam.
I think those scores are a bit low. They have been solid, and there weren't any major deductions through those routines.
Mackenzie Fechter, senior from Wisconsin. Just a couple of 9.85s on this event. And she too with a busy program today. She'll be seen on 3 events besides beam, also bars and floor.
Nice combination there, starting at the top of this routine. Kick over front, directly connected to that back handspring. It can be difficult to connect a front to back series. She has nice rhythm on this event. Beautiful dance. Dismounting gainer pike off the end. Those scores not really reflecting how confident this Washington beam lineup really looks. 3 up, 3 have nailed their routines.
Fechter's had a pretty good year. She's tied or set a lot of season bests, and most of them came in that meet against Davis. It was a good night for Washington. It was their high score of the year, a 196.6. Savannah Borman next up on the floor for Arizona State, sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. She too is coming off a season high last meet against Air Force. You said it at the top, Amanda. Arizona State had to rebuild almost from the ground up this year, and a lot of these athletes were asked to perform on events not normally their forte, and yet they've come through, and this is a team that has shown tremendous growth this year.
And strength. It's not easy to do that, to get in the lineups and step up for your team, but they stayed positive throughout, and I can guess that they've really come together as a team, helping each other out. Coming right back, double tuck on the second tumbling pass.
And case in point, this is only the 5th floor exercise routine for Borman all season long. Borman has been asked to come off the bench many times to plug some holes. That's got to be tough when the coach comes to you and say, I need you on some event that you're not normally training for, and you got to step up get some points for your team.
Well, that was a clean routine. All 3 tumbling passes, very nice.
Nothing wrong with that. Arizona State's been pretty consistent in their opening rotation on the floor. Quick shot there of Renee List, the new head coach in Tempe, takes over for John Spini, who was there for 34 years. So it's a new signature on the Jim Devil program. 9.775 for lob. Jesse Sisler, junior. She's been on vault in every meet, and her career high is a 9.85, and that came last week against Denver.
Lots of speed into the table.
Clean.
Wow.
Besides Bill Ryden in the foreground, you might have seen John Court in the sport coat on the opposite side. Assistant coach for Arizona.
Well, this was a clean vault. See, nice position in the air. You know, I think the difference is, you know, we're seeing some clean vaults. The judges are leaving room because they do know there are some vaulters in our conference that will get distance almost to the end of the mat, and that's really going to be separating these vaults. The height and the distance, because everybody's performing clean layout Yurchenko fulls.
9.8 for Takara. I thought she was going to be closer to 9.9. Maybe the judges are giving themselves some room to grow later in the afternoon. Charlie Owens now, sophomore, Alta Loma, California, up on the bars. And she has a big career high on this, a 9.95. Got to go completely vertical on those handstands.
Wow, and a big combination there. We saw her struggle earlier in the season on that release up to the high bar. Dismounting double layout, beautiful in the air.
Justin Howell, head coach, right there with a high 10 and shirt and tie. Howell's done a remarkable job in Berkeley over 3 years.
Well, this is a great routine. Watch this, down to the low bar and then a clear hip heck to the high bar. Very difficult. That gives you a great angle of how precise she has to be from that low bar to the high bar.
We expect Charlie to be in the all-around. She has 4 wins this year. 3 of those have come on the uneven bars. Going into that routine, she had posted 9.8 or better in 5 straight meets. Fector goes 9.8, the high score for Washington so far on the beam. So maybe now the scores are starting to percolate upward. Here's Allison Northey, the best all-around gymnast for Washington. Ranked number 11 in the country coming in.
I had a chance to talk to head coach Joanne Bowers about her, and she said, as a junior, she's really found that confidence. She doesn't have to overtrain. She keeps her numbers appropriate so her body feels strong and healthy. And she trusts that she doesn't need a gazillion beam routines to be great, and that has made a big difference for her this year. Handspring layout, step out. She hasn't just been consistent, she has delivered big scores in crucial moments for this team.
We saw Allison Northey earlier this year, and certainly people in the Pac-12 were aware of her, but she broke onto the national scene against Utah in a meet in Seattle when she won the all-around. She beat Tori Wilson, she beat Georgia DeBritz. She posted a 39.475.
Beautiful 1.5 twist. Small step there at the end, but this is quite the rotation.
We'll see her on all 4 today. Junior from Sammamish, just across the lake from Seattle. Lots of smiles in the Gym Dogs compound. Allie Salas, 4th up for Arizona State. Salas on the floor, a season high 9.825, and she's hit it 4 different times, but her last 3 have been subpar. She needs to pop one here. She's from Kansas City. Back in 2012, she was the Missouri all-around state champion.
Open there with the twisting pass. Those are very difficult to land. She stayed in control. Coming right back with that second tumbling pass. Combination, oh, she went out of bounds. I saw the yellow flag go up. That will be 1/10 of a deduction. Seems like some of the mistakes we've seen from her on this event are due to sometimes controlling that power.
You've told me this many times, and it plays into this right here. this is one of the more difficult events to begin on because you have all this adrenaline and you really need to pull it back a little bit on floor.
Yeah, I think that's the toughest part about competition, especially at a conference championship. That first event, you're coming out with so much adrenaline, ready to get it going. And adrenaline can be good on this event, especially right here on this last tumbling pass when you need it most, but you gotta stay in control. Beautiful finish there, double pike.
Allie's going to be in the all-around today.
This was a solid routine. She made that mistake on the second tumbling pass, but finished strong right here. Double pike, you can see lots of power. That is tough to do in that final tumbling pass after about 1 minute and 20 seconds of constant movement.
9.825 for Sisler. That's the high mark so far for the U of A. Shelby Edwards. When Flores went down, a lot of the pressure shifted over to Madison Cindric, the freshman, and Shelby Edwards, the junior.
Well, she is a great vaulter. Beautiful positions in the air and a clean landing.
5 straight scores on this event of 9.825 or better, and that should be another one, although I'll tell you what, the judges being quite stingy to start this afternoon.
Yeah, well, they, like I mentioned, know they have some phenomenal vaulters in this conference, so you've got to deliver perfect. You can see that slide back, lots of power, good positioning, but to get it above that 9.8 range, it's going to come down to that, like I mentioned, distance, height, and of course that landing.
Coming up next, as we take a look at the back-to-back 9.8s now for California, Takara Ann Owens, and it should get better here. Tony Ann Williams, the freshman from Randallstown, Maryland, 29 victories on the season. 5 of them have come on the bars. She has been named the Freshman of the Week in this conference 6 times. No one has ever done that. This is a star in the making.
Well, you can just see she is powerful, and she brings that to this event. Wow, oh, mistake there. She was supposed to, I believe, step onto the low bar, but she is so strong, she was able to fight through that.
How much of a deduction?
Wow, that's impressive. That is tough for a freshman to make a mistake like that. It wasn't something she needed for bonus. You could see she started to step her toes on.
She drag? She drag her feet?
Well, I wasn't sure if we're gonna get another look at it or not. Right there, that's the dismount, which was just about perfect. No, she didn't drag her feet. Looked like she was gonna step on and didn't quite get, so she did a glide kip out, but she is so strong. A lot of athletes wouldn't have been able to kip and actually finish the bar routine, so she saved herself the deduction of actually stopping or falling, that's for sure.
Back-to-back 9.8s, Spector and Northey. You expect that. This is the strength now of the Washington lineup. Janae Janik. Janik, normally the anchor on the balance beam for Washington, but today in the 5 spot has a couple of victories on beam and a season best of 9.9.
She's very fluid on this event, moves with a calm rhythm. Starting right out with that combination, front aerial. Looks like she was a little off balance, but you would never know. That's where being calm on this event is definitely something positive.
We've seen so much of Janae Janik already in just a year and a half. You forget she's a sophomore. I'm always surprised, thinking that she's already an upperclassman.
I remember as a freshman, she came out so confident, and we continue to see that in the Pac-12 schools, these freshmen that come in so confident, make their lineups and become leaders. Janae was definitely one of those last year for Washington. Beautiful combination, side aerial, small balance check.
Every team will be challenged, of course, on balance beam, but for Washington, this is actually its strongest event in terms of national rankings. The Gym Dogs, number 16 in the country, coming in.
Dismounting off the end, sticking the landing. Fantastic rotation. They've had 5 athletes up, all 5 have hit. So now that 6th person, pressure's off.
A lot of Seattle support in Salt Lake City. Purple and gold in the house. Arizona State actually changed its rotation order. Taylor Alex was scheduled to be the anchor, but she's going to go in the 5 spot. Tasha Sunby will be the 6.
Well, this is a fantastic floor routine. She has a big opening tumbling pass, double Arabian. It's a blind landing, and she is very powerful. So right now, she's got to control this adrenaline. Beautiful.
Taylor Alex, and we've told the story numerous times, began her career not at Arizona State, but here at the University of Utah. Could not break into enough lineups, decided to transfer. She came back earlier this year in front of 15,000 people in her all-around debut and went 39.375, the highest score for a Gym Devil in 4 years. I think she has good memories of this building.
Well, you can just see she's known for floor and vault because of the amount of power that she brings to her gymnastics. By far the most difficult routine we will see from the Arizona State floor lineup.
Arizona State as a team is only number 49 in the nation on this event, but this is a strong effort for Taylor Alex. She was 3rd at the floor nationals back in 2012.
Finishing front 1.5 twist. That should be a strong score.
Taylor Alex in the top 3 in terms of best season scores among her teammates on all 4 events. She is their leader. 9.775 for Edwards. Here's the freshman Madison Sindrick, who now has been forced because of the injury to Flores into the all-around. Again, this is one of those freshmen. She's from Texas. She has been producing big numbers. A 9.85 career high on vault.
Very nice.
They are asking an awful lot of that teenager today. In fact, she is going to be the anchor on the balance beam for Arizona. That shows the confidence they have in this kid.
Well, she was a strong club gymnast, but it is very different when you come into a competition like this. She handled the pressure well then, and so far she's really been proving herself for Arizona.
When Flores got hurt, they asked her to go in the all-around. She said fine and put up a 39.35. That's a great number. A freshman, your first time when you're not expecting it, you haven't trained for it. 9.75 for Tony Ann Williams. She got dinged for that bobble in the middle of her routine. Actually, it was at the beginning. Dana Ho, sophomore from Plano, Texas. Career high 9.9 came last week. She has 7 scores of 9.8 or better. This is a strength for her. And for California, they're ranked 15th in the country on this event.
Nice combination work. All that's left is the dismount. Getting lots of speed. Wow, that was a great rotation. Clean throughout, nice landings. She opened with strong release combinations and then wrapped this routine up. Lots of speed here into her full twisting double back. You can see her eyes looking for that mat, gripping the floor. Very clean.
Dana's going in 3 events today for California. 3 9.8s in a row. Fector, Northey, and Janik. And here's McCartan, and there's a reason she's the anchor. She has 3 wins this season. Season high of 9.8 and gets your attention right away.
That's right. Always something the crowd loves. She jumps right onto those splits, and she'll showcase her flexibility throughout this entire routine.
She was all Pac-12 on this event last year. And Joanne Bowers, her head coach, has talked about her being always been good on this event and bars, and talking about her consistency. And as we bring it up, she falls.
Yeah, that is her tumbling combination. Front air, she's gonna have to repeat it. Oh, the same thing happened again.
And this is her only event scheduled for the day. Crowd trying to help her now.
Wow, it looked like she was just having trouble getting off the front leg on that front aerial. Very surprising from her. The good news is they've already hit 5 routines at this point. This was gonna be a bonus routine and in hopes to knock out a 9.75, but still a great rotation.
If you're new to collegiate gymnastics, 6 athletes compete on each of the events. but you can throw out your low score. So only 5 count. That's the good news for Washington. Did not expect this from Jackie McCartan. It's a tough day for her.
Well, she's absolutely beautiful on this event. Strong side aerial.
And this is when gymnasts really impressed me. I mean, she had back-to-back falls, and now she's up there all by herself and finishes with a gainer. She showed a lot of character there over the last minute on the beam. And a brave
even a
smile. Yeah, I mean, that's gymnastics. Amanda, you were strong on the beam, but you had to have days like this.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you don't even know why you're falling off the beam, and that's, like I said, too bad for her because that could have been a strong score.
Natasha Sunby, anchor for Arizona State. This is her best event, and she is the best gym devil on the floor. Coming off a season best against Air Force last week. From El Dorado Hills in California, she's a senior.
She also opens with a difficult first tumbling pass, full twisting double back. We've seen a lot of double pikes. Watch this, she'll be twisting on the first flip. Full twist, very nice. Prepping for the second tumbling pass. Nice combination. Little off center, but stayed in the bounds. Everybody rooting her on for this final tumbling pass. Finishing double tuck, oh. Over-rotated, took that big step back, and of course out of bounds. That is too bad. Those last 2 routines, 2 strong numbers for this Arizona State team. Of course, that will be at least 1/10 for the out of bounds, along with the steps back.
We will add up the scores from the first rotation, but Amanda, I don't think any of these 4 teams reached 49 in that first rotation. It's the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships. The Pac-12 Championships also signal the end of careers. The graduating seniors from Arizona, Ali Flores, Chelsea Tang, Oregon State, Christina Vakulik from Stanford, UCLA's Olympic silver medalist, Sam Pesek, and from the University of Utah, Georgia DeBritz, Tori Wilson, and Corey Lothrop. All of them will be in action today with the exception of the injured Ali Flores. Utah, UCLA, Stanford, and Oregon State later tonight. Session 2 of the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championship begins tonight, 6 o'clock on the Pac-12 networks and Pac-12 Now. Scores from the first rotation, and it is true, no one reaches 49. That's kind of the mark in gymnastics. Everybody shoots for 49 in each rotation. California goes 48.950. Arizona began on the vault. Jessie Sisler goes 9.8.
This was a good rotation for them, and this was the highlight of the rotation. Strong, beautiful form. Great view of what the judges are seeing. It's all about the position, the distance, and of course that beautiful landing.
For California, they're going to be disappointed with their team score of 48.95, but Charlie Owens goes 9.8. Or check
as well
it,
as
Emily Richardson.
Right
Emily
there,
Richardson.
yeah, dismounting strong. And on beam, what a rotation for Washington. Allison Northey right in the middle of that. One of the 9.8s they got. Beautiful form, and that was really one of the only major deductions right there on that dismount.
Over on the floor exercise, Taylor Alex, 9.825.
Yeah, rough rotation for Arizona State on this event, but strong performance for her. And the good news is she is on all 4 events, and they are going to need her.
Warm-up session between rotations 1 and 2. Look, you and I talked about the judges. We both noticed it right away. We thought the scores were a little bit down. Now everybody's going to have to adjust to that. As long as they're consistent across the board, it doesn't bother me so much. But when you think you get a 9-9 and you look up and you get a 9-8, I mean, emotionally, it has to affect you.
For sure. This is definitely a confidence factor in these teams. And the reality is this is a very tight conference. The judges have to leave room knowing that there are better routines out there. So they just need to stay consistent across the board.
Cal fans, like that first rotation, California technically in first place. The Bears now move to the vault, Arizona to the bars, Arizona State to the beam, and Washington on the floor. .48.950 was the best mark in that first rotation for California. Arizona State, a 48.425 on the floor. For Renee List, it's all about patience and persistence this year. She is the new head coach at ASU, but she's not new to college gymnastics. She built the University of Arkansas program 13 years as the co-head coach, began in 2003. They had 7 appearances at the NCAA Championships and twice advanced all the way to the Super 6. For those of you from outside the sport, the Super 6 in gymnastics is the Final Four of college gymnastics. Arizona State will begin the second rotation on the vault. Savannah Borman, we saw her get a 9.65 earlier on floor.
Well, this has been an event that Arizona State has struggled on because of the lack of depth. They've had vaults in their lineups that didn't start from a 10.0. Like that, layout Yurchenko starts from a 9.8. When you're not performing a vault from a 10.0, you want to be as perfect as possible. Most gymnasts you see add the full twist right here off the table. She stays nice and straight, good form. Just that large hop on the landing.
And again, this is an athlete, Savannah Borman, probably wouldn't be on vault if Arizona State had their full complement of athletes. Arizona is on the bars. Kristen Howard starts us off.
Opens up Pike Yeager. Nice release down to the low bar. This is a great event for Arizona. Nice clean dismount, giant full double tap, beautiful landing.
Kristen Howard was in a hurry to get that routine going. I think she knew she had a good one. Her season high coming in was a 9.875, sophomore from Phoenix. And we'll see her on the balance beam as well.
First up on beam for California, Jessica Howe.
California goes to the beam. This is their weakest event, 34th in the country, but they have gone over 49-1 against Arizona as their top scorer. Jessica Howe, her only event of the day, first up on balance beam.
Well, and she has been added back into this lineup. They are happy to have her, and she's going to do a routine like this right here. No-handed routine, a front aerial to that back tuck, because you can see that that left wrist has a brace on it. She has not been released to actually use the hand. She is absolutely beautiful on this event.
Well, that's, you got to commit then to the move. You don't even have the wrist to catch yourself.
She has a lot of elements that she can use on this event, which is good news. Not many gymnasts can perform a routine on balance beam with no hands.
And she's been very good this year. She has 4 wins on balance beam.
Side aerial to that full twisting dismount. Strong start.
She's a sophomore. She's going to have a friendly face on campus next year. Her little sister Emily has already signed with California. How sweet it is.
Started off on beam,
Emily
guys.
and Jessica Howe, both in Berkeley at the same time, at least for a couple of years.
First up on floor for Washington, Madison Podlucky.
Madison Podlucky will start for Washington.
You can see a lineup change. That's something that always keeps us on our toes. The coaches can make those changes during the warm-ups.
Podlucky has gone 9.875 as the season best on floor, but she has 5 scores of 9.8 or better, so she is in her element on the floor.
Opening double pike.
Oh,
Wow, lots of power. She landed and completely bounced out.
You see that yellow flag in the background goes up so everybody in the arena and the judges know as well. We do want to remind you there are 2 sessions, but whatever score you post now could win and hold up all night long. So these athletes are in competition with the 4 teams later tonight.
This event, you see a variety of different tumbling as well as dance elements, and then there's always that artistry factor the judges are looking for, the performance.
Washington is ranked in the top 25 on 3 events, including 4 where they are number 25 in the country.
Finish that routine double tuck, little stumbly on that landing as well. Definitely hoping to pick up some momentum on this event. They have that strong beam rotation.
That's the only event we expect to see Maddie on, but sometimes things change. Smiling in the background there, Joanne Bowers, Washington head coach. Borman just a 9.525. Once again, Maselli. Stephanie Maselli, season high on vault, came last week against Air Force.
Another layout, Yurchenko.
And her season high only a 9.65 because it doesn't have a big start value.
That's right, she has decent form. I know the coaches were hoping to add some of these full twists.
Maselli earlier on floor went 9.65. Felix Terrazas for Arizona after the 9.775 by Kristen Howard. Her season high on this event, the bars, came twice. One of them against their arch rival Arizona State, a meet you and I did, a 9.875. Arizona had their best night against their rival.
Well, she is beautiful on this event. She has tremendous height and power on all of her skills, but the biggest area has been her form. I remember watching her early in her collegiate gymnastics, and those landings and keeping her feet together on the skills was very difficult. That was probably one of the best routines I've seen her do.
Arizona as a team on the bars is number 14 in the country.
Well, it comes down to elements like that, sticking those dismounts, being clean throughout the entire routine.
As we go back to the beam, Charlie Owens, California. She's only a sophomore, but we sure do enjoy watching Charlie Owens perform. She just has a joy about her. There's always a smile on her face, although I would guess on beam, going to be a bit more serious.
Opens right up with that back handspring layout. Step out, a little short, step forward.
You saw Charlie moments ago on bars with a 9.8.
Lots of combination work there. Through that gainer layout, step out.
Back in 2013, she was the level 10 regional balance beam champion, California.
Dismounting, round off, double twist. Nice job.
Charlie, like a lot of kids in Berkeley, of course, is a genius. Her major, cell and developmental biology. She says she wants to be either an anesthesiologist or, get this, a sportscaster. Oh, take the first one. Bud Lucky 9.575. Stephanie Stowe.
Sounds like her music came on for a second. Might have been the wrong music or started the wrong spot. No deduction for that. Just being patient for her. Dynamic music to go along with beautiful power there on that double pike.
And a change for Washington here. Stowe into the lineup. We didn't have that early, so they've decided to put her into the floor lineup. Faith Morrison looks like she has been scratched on the floor. Sometimes it's all just about how you warm up.
Well, I had a chance to talk to the coaches before they started, and they said they've made some lineup changes, really trying to put some stronger athletes up first to kind of get that momentum going. It's always interesting to hear every coach approaches their lineups very differently. Some change them every competition, while others keep them same throughout the season.
It's just like a batting order in baseball. It matters. Joanne Bowers in the background applauding.
Finishing nice combination to the jump. She was not scheduled, but that was a strong routine.
Stephanie Stowe against Utah earlier this year, and that meet was in Seattle, posted a 9.8 on floor. That's her best.
Well, she finished with this nice combination to that front layout. Watch this, an immediate jump out, so no landing deduction there. Strong finish.
So good. Great job, Stowe.
She was already scheduled in 2 events, and now maybe 3. Allie Salas did not have a good experience earlier on floor. Tries to answer back on vault.
There we go, much better vault.
Has a season high 9.85 on this event against Stanford.
Well, this is the first 10-0 vault in their lineup, and it was done very well. You can see nice position, follows it all the way through.
Yeah, I would say that's one of her better vaults this season.
Yeah, we've seen her vault throughout the season and make errors on the landings, and besides that small hop back, it was one of the best.
Felix Terrazas, 9.825. Good number for Arizona, something to shoot for Lexi Mills. Lexi will be in 3 events today. The junior from Frisco, Texas. And her season high on bars has come the last 2 weeks in a row, 9.85. So she comes in with momentum on this event. Bill Ryden spotted.
Yeah, opening with that ginger, she was a little close, so we saw leg separation. Nice handstand on the low bar. Just a little short on those cast handstands. Lots of speed though, finishing it up, full twisting double back. Nice routine.
Oh, look at the game face. Not a lot of celebration. Everybody's going nuts around her. I like that. She says, I have more work to do. I'm staying in the zone. Over to the beam. California's Dana Ho. Already put up a 9.8 on bars. California is only ranked 34th on the balance beam. It is their weakest event, but they have gone over 49.
That's right, they have a ton of potential on this event. It's just been minor mistakes. Oh, like that. Very simple back handspring, just a little bit crooked. We've seen them stay on the beam throughout the season. It's just the balance checks kind of gaining that confidence. In fact, when I talked to Justin Howell earlier in the season, he said it's a mental game because they are great on this event. Looks like she's finding her rhythm. Dismounting, gainer layout full. She had that balance check early on, but other than that, finished strong.
You saw Liz Crandall, associate head coach, there she is, for California, came out to meet her, and she's been talking about what you just mentioned, that for California, she said, we're having trouble being the same team from the beginning of a meet to the end of the meet. And when I heard that, I talked to her about it. I said, well, that's just youth. California, in their 24 routines, will have just one done by a senior. So this is a team of the future, California. Mackenzie Fechter was scheduled as the leadoff for California, now shows up in the 3 spot. Joanne Bowers is juggling her lineup.
She has great energy on this event, opening 1.5 front twist to a layout step out. Teammates in the background there cheering her on. Nice combination there. Looked like she came up a little short on the connection, but that's where experience, being a senior, plays a part.
The reason that they usually have Mackenzie Fector at the top of the lineup is her consistency, a lot of 9.8s, but also her greatness in big meets. 2012 Pac-12 floor champion. One of 8 returning champions in this meet, including 2 all-arounders, both from Utah. Tori Wilson, who won last year, Corey Lothrop back in 2012. A lot of talent in the building over the next 9 hours.
Perfect landing there on that front 1.5 twist. See some tumbling that you don't see from all the athletes. No double flips in this routine. She opened up with this combination front 1.5 twist directly to that layout step out. Beautiful positioning.
Where Fector already has a 9.8 on beam, should get a pretty good score here on floor. She is not in the all-around. 9.775 for Solis. Nice bounce back for her. And Tasha Sunby, who we saw finish off the floor for Arizona State. Sunby, just a 9.675 for her on floor. She's much better than that.
Well, she's a great vaulter, also performing a 1.5 twist in the tuck position. Can be difficult to land.
Nice.
Pretty clean.
Sunby's best is a 9.9 on vault, and she's hit it a couple of different times.
Well, adding that extra half twist, you'll see right here, when she comes into the landing, she'll be looking up at the ceiling. That's what makes it so hard. You cannot see the ground before your feet hit, but you can see she took very little deduction.
Sunby's 9.9 on vault came earlier this year, right here at the Huntsman Center against Utah. I think she likes that vault table. Lexi Mills, 9.725. Gabby Lobb, second time we've seen her. She was up on vault earlier at a 9.775 on that vault performance. Now on bars, where her career high came against California at 9.9.
Well, they are capable of those big scores. It's all about the details, hitting every single handstand like that, but she was a little loose in the position.
She's been really good on this event. 8 scores of 9.8 or better this year. That's almost every time up she goes 9.8.
Winding it up, finishing double layout. It's really just small mistakes, little shy on handstands, a little loose on the position in the middle for her routine, and she finished with this huge double layout. You'll see beautiful form in the air. And as she lands, you can see just her shoulders just in front, her knees kind of rolled forward and just took that small hop.
Tony Ann Williams back at it. Only a 9.75 earlier on bars. She's good on all the events, but this is her challenge, as it is for most gymnasts. This is the one she has the most work to do. Her season high, 9.875. She's hit that number twice. Number 10 in the country in the all-around, but she already feels like she needs to rally.
Well, a lot of times for an athlete like Tony Ann, who's very powerful, it can be hard to control in this event. She needs to stay calm and tight, like on a skill like that, that standing front, relaxing into the position, but also staying firm, not rebounding too quick.
This is the 4th meet in a row now she's been in the all-around. They added the balance beam. They didn't expect her to be an all-arounder at the beginning of the season. Rarely do they put freshmen into that tough spot, let them grow into it.
Perfect back handspring layout, step out.
See Liz Crandall in the background, and I asked her about that. Were you expecting to have her as an all-arounder? She said no, but she was so good on everything else, we thought she could handle it. She has 4 wins in the all-around.
Dismounting front layout full. Very nice. I think, like you mentioned, it's not a great event, but I think she gets better and better every time that she competes it. This was perfect. Back handspring layout, step out, no problem controlling her power. She was confident on that landing and no deductions there.
I think Tony Ann will get more pumped up over a good score on balance beam, her weakest event, than a great score on floor, her best event, because it's not expected. Back to the floor. Should be Haley Burleson.
She is beautiful on this event. You can see she's got long lines, really uses her flexibility, but what's also impressive is she's very powerful. A lot of times when you see the taller gymnasts, they lack power. Well, that is not a problem for her. Opens up double pike, tremendous height, almost floats into that landing. Nice 1.5 twist to that punch front.
Washington's best team in a decade. Their team scores increased over the first 4 meets, and they broke into the top 25, currently at number 22.
Beautiful routine, finishing with that 2.5 twist. Like I said, she's got the flexibility, she's got the power, and she is beautiful to watch on that event.
Nice shot of Joanne Bowers, just kind of a personal moment there. She put her head down, pumped her fists, and smiled. Good shot by our director, Tim Lay. 9.825 for Sunbeam on the vault, good for her. Another good bounce back performance. Taylor Alex. Taylor Alex has hit 9.9 3 times on vault, and one of them happened right here in Salt Lake on this table.
Wow.
Stepped out of it.
Yeah, she actually tucked her knees. She usually does that in a laid out position.
She's been phenomenal on vault. Nothing under 9.8 all season.
Well, you see right here, she bends her knees a little bit.
Yeah.
She must have felt something kind of strange on the table. The good news, that vault does start from a 10.0 no matter what, but she just looked a little lacking confidence on the landing as well.
Taylor Alex was the 2012 National Vault Champion. Gabby Lobb went 9.8. Victoria Ortiz, her only event of the day, freshman from Tucson, has hit 9.9 twice on this event this year. Nice release move. Oh, and lost her hands.
Wow, difficult. Those major releases connected together like that. She looked like she didn't have quite enough swing to make it all the way over the low bar. Came a little short. Has to finish up though. Giant full double tap.
Oh, other than that, such a good routine.
That is too bad.
Tough moment for Ortiz, but again, a freshman. There will be other days. That quickly. Tony Ann Williams only a 9.775, so the amazing freshman from Cal struggling through the first 2 rotations. Desiree Palomares. Just to make sure you were watching.
That's right. I always love the fans here. They always appreciate great gymnastics, unique mounts and dismounts like that one. Beautiful front aerial, solid and confident as she moves right into her tumbling pass. Perfect back handspring layout, step out. We have watched her compete on this event very consistently.
You're right in the mid-season, she posted back-to-back-to-back 9.9s on balance beam. California calls her their beam queen. She's got 4 wins on this event.
Well, you can see she's confident. That wasn't a perfect side aerial. She was a little crooked, but she's confident, stays cool and calm under pressure. Little balance check there. It's really so far been the only deduction that I've seen. Setting up for the dismount. Back handspring, gainer layout full, and she sticks it.
That's a good routine.
And it should be a great score.
Double major in both English and legal studies. Sophomore from San Dimas, just outside of Los Angeles. 9.85 for Burleson. Numbers in the right direction from the 9.775 to the 9.8 to the 9.85. Janae Janik, this year on the floor, season high 9.875. Has a whole bunch of 9.85s as well.
Wow.
Got it. Think it was short?
Really, yeah, it looks like it was going to come up short, but she did a great job pulling it through. Strong combination, finishing with the front layout.
We saw Janik on beam moments ago with a 9/8.
Beautiful flexibility. We mentioned her as a freshman. She came out, really showed her personality, especially on this event. And now she looks confident as a sophomore.
Yeah, growing up quickly. I made that comment before. It seems like she's been around a long time because we've been aware of her since she first got to Montlake. Sophomore from Simi Valley, just north of LA. And Joanne Bowers gave us a quote, and I always remember it when I watch her perform. She's just beautiful to watch, and she's getting better each week. It's still true.
That is for sure. Well, this double pike looked like she was going to come up a little bit short. She was high on that back handspring, so she didn't get as much height as she usually does, and you can see right there, she pulled it all the way through. So those feet hit the mat.
Taylor Alex goes 9.775. Carissa Kraus, first time we've seen Kraus today. Junior from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Season high on this event came early in the season for her.
Oh.
And again, just filling a spot here in this rotation.
Yeah, another layout Yurchenko. Lots of power. That looks like it should be a full twist.
Kraus is one of those great stories in collegiate athletics. She was a walk-on, almost didn't come back for her sophomore season. Again, you can drop the low score, so Ortiz's 9.175 hopefully will be erased for Arizona right here with Maddie Sindre.
Remember, a freshman, lots of pressure to handle, no problem there on her Jaeger.
Last week was her first routine in college on the uneven bars against Denver. What did she do? 9.925.
Well, she looks very relaxed, nice positions. Difficult dismount, double front.
Oh,
Wow.
held on to it.
She bailed him out.
She already had a 9.775 vault and jumps into the arms of Bill Ryden. I talked with Bill when I first came in about Madison Cindric. They have really high hopes for her, and not next year, today.
Well, she did what she needed to do right here. Double front, difficult landing, very clean. And that is big for Arizona.
Look at the Arizona coaches all hugging each other. That's great.
They're
John
saying,
Cord,
woo.
Meredith Pulisivic over there. Meredith's in her first season at Arizona, but she certainly has put her personality on the program. Good stuff. Now you got to calm it all down. Go back to the balance beam. Zoe Draghi.
Another great beam worker for Cal. She has unique choreography, lots of flexibility through her upper back. As well as strong skills. Good save there. She walked out of that layout with a little bit.
Beam has been a struggle for her. She has a 9.825 that came at Arizona, but that's her only score over 9.7 so far. But you go big at the Pac-12s and people remember that. These are legacy routines.
Dismounting, gainer layup full off the side.
Oh, she likes that. You bet. Celebrate. Zoe Draghi, sophomore from Long Beach. We should see her again on the floor. In fact, she's scheduled to be the leadoff for the Golden Bears on floor. Look at the scores for Washington. All of a sudden, 9.8, 9.85, 9.825. Getting better as they go along. And now we go to the anchor with Allison Northey.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what was happening there. The music came on, looked like she was a little off, and I saw Joanne Bauer step up and say, wait, wait, wait. So now she gets to start again. It's still not the right music, so.
Oh, that's got to be tough. Just standing there, you don't know, should I stay in the moment? Can I walk away? Share a laugh for a second? She's gonna try to laugh it off. Good for her. And Joanne Bauer's trying to keep that dialogue going so the athlete's not out there by themselves. You know, it can be a lonely place. Teammates are teasing her a little bit, trying to keep her loose. The crowd's going to help out as well. The crowds in Utah are great. This is the early session later tonight. This place not only will be full, standing room only. 2 weeks ago against Michigan, they set the NCAA record here with over 16,000 in the building. For this session, we probably have 5,000 already. Oh, it's a long time to wait.
She's giving him the thumbs up, saying, hey, do you got the right music? All right, let's give it one more try. And the crowd.
That's great.
Helping as well.
Yep, from all schools, all together. Gymnastics is hard. If it were easy, they'd call it football.
Hey, that's what I always said growing up. I like that. Beautiful double pike.
You feel yourself pulling for it now, don't you? She already had a 9-8 on beam. She's an all-arounder, majoring in biology with a minor in marine biology. When she was a kid, her grandfather used to take her out to the family cabin on Whidbey Island, and she used to see all these animals, including orcas, out in Puget Sound. And so now she teaches kids at the Seattle Aquarium.
We talked about how consistent she has been for this team.
She's got 12 wins this year. She had a career day at Oregon State where she had a top 3 finish in each of the 4 events, and Washington pulled the upset in Corvallis in a quad meet. It was their best effort of the year.
Well, waiting for a few minutes extra did not seem to affect her.
That's great for Allison Northey.
Well, and I wanted to say that any athlete on that team, if any of them were in that position, that's the one you would want to be able to handle that pressure. Nice routine.
It's the Pac-12 Championships. You have to stay focused. Allison Northey, the junior from Sammamish, stays in the zone and converts. Scores from the second rotation, and Washington actually goes in front now. How about Washington with a 49-1 on the floor? Allison Northey saved them at the end of that rotation. You're looking over the shoulder of Justin Howell in his 3rd season as the California head coach. For 15 years, he was the head coach at Airborne Gymnastics down in Santa Clara, produced 40 gymnasts that went on to compete in college. 3rd at the Pac-12s last year was the highest finish ever. This guy has revamped that program at California. 5 years ago, they were trying to kill that program with budget cuts. He came in as an assistant coach for 1 year for Dana Durante, who left and went to Georgia. Now it's his program along with his wife, Elizabeth Crandall Howell. What a great job they're doing. Desiree Palomares for California with a 9.85 in that last rotation on beam.
Well, this has been a tough event throughout the season, but she has been the consistent rock, and she did it again today. Beautiful skills throughout this routine, and then sealed the deal with the dismount. Back handspring, right to that gainer layout off the side. Stuck it, the highest score in the rotation, 9.85.
Allison Northey, Washington, and they went 49-1, and she goes 9.85 anchor spot.
Well, she had to wait for a few extra minutes to get that routine going, but it was well worth it.
Madison Cindric, the freshman for Arizona.
Well, and she was in a tough spot. They had a fall before this routine, and she came back and not only nailed it, huge score, the highest one of the rotation, 9.85.
That's another big score for Madison Cindric. So while one freshman is having a good day, Tony Ann Williams is now talking to herself a little bit. She's realizing the pressure that comes along with the Pac-12 Championships. 49-1 for Washington leaves them the only team so far to reach 98. Arizona is in second. California is in third. You're watching the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships live on the Pac-12 networks all day and night. It's the big meet between number 13 Stanford and number 20 California. Last performance for California, and it's up to Tony Ann Williams to save the day.
Watch this first pass, double layout, nailed it.
Needed a 9.85. What does she do? Goes 9.975, and we crown a winner. Well, that was an amazing night. The freshman steps to the floor in the middle of hostile Haas Pavilion and needs to go big, 9.85 plus, and she blows it away and brought the house down. That was a great moment. Stanford had a great rally that night.
That's right, and this is a great event for Cal. She'll be anchoring on this event. Big tumbling, lots of power, and the reality is she has struggled a little bit on bars and beam. Those aren't her best events. She is now coming in to her two best events, the floor and the vault. So it's going to be an exciting rotation. They're getting some words from Coach Liz Crandall there, pumping them up. And Washington will be starting out on the vault.
Emily Little, her only event of the day, freshman from Modesto, California. She's been on the vault in the leadoff spot all year long. Her season best is a 9.825, came against Cal.
Well, unique vault handspring pike front. We see a lot of Yurchenkos. That front handspring entry is much more difficult to generate power and speed. It's also a blind landing. But overall, it was a clean and good start for Washington.
Second rotation takes Arizona State to the bars, and Becca Conrad slated as the leadoff. Becca Conrad, season high 9.825, but that came early in the year against Kentucky. Sophomore, Newport News, Virginia.
Mounting right up to the high bar. Strong combination to open the routine. Giant fold directly connected to that ginger. Little loose in her lower back on some of these handstands. Wrapping it up, lots of speed, double layout. Clean start.
A couple of new assistant coaches at Arizona State as well, Jeff Hunt and Ralph Rosso. So everybody at Arizona State in their first season. Arizona moves to the balance beam, Shelby Edwards. So they're going to start with one of their veterans. Edwards, a junior, season high on the balance beam is a 9.875. That came just last week. Every score but one this year for her. So all but one have been 9.8 or better. That's why you're the leadoff.
Nice combination work there. Little balance check coming out of it. She has nice rhythm and beautiful lines on the balance beam. Solid kick over front.
It's a good event for Arizona. They're 14th in the country on the balance beam. I think this is a chance for Arizona to make up some points here.
Well, and we've talked about it all day long. The loss of Ali Flores on all of these events has put some added pressure on other athletes. And of course, Shelby being one of them that has stepped up as a leader.
Yeah, talking to the Arizona coaches, I said, how did your team react to Ali Flores? Not only your best all-around gymnast, but your team leader as well. Kind of that tent pole for that program. And they said, it's amazing how they've reacted. They've rallied around her, and now they're doing it for her.
Well, that was a strong first routine, and like you mentioned, this is going to be a key rotation for Arizona at this point in the competition.
Ali Flores somewhere in that Arizona contingent on crutches, injured last week, ends her collegiate career. We just saw Zoe Draghi on the balance beam battle through, and now she steps to the floor from Wildfire Gymnastics in Orange County. And This is her better event. At a 9.875 at the Cal Quad Meet earlier in the year, but 8 scores of 9.8 or better.
She opened with a strong double tuck. I've really noticed that on this event, the Cal team looks like they're having fun during their floor routines. Always makes it fun to watch as well.
You know, I listened in to Justin Howell's pregame speech with California, and it was great. He had them in a tight circle, and he said, I want you to relax. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Let the moment happen. Don't press. And have fun and enjoy the experience. And with a young team, it was great. All their serious faces broke out into smiles. It was the right thing to say at the right time.
Well, I always know as an athlete, for me, calming down, relaxing, and remembering to have fun was very important when it came to being successful in competition. You can't overthink it. You can't overtry. And the reality is there's so much you can't control in this sport besides just do your best. Strong finish there, front 1.5 twist. Very nice.
Draghi might have another 9.8 plus. That would be 9 on the year. She was voted the team's most improved last year. Her grandfather has been honored in the USA Gymnastics Hall of Fame. So she's a legacy kid. Alex Yakalis for Washington. Her only performance of the day right here in the 2-spot on vault. Season best 9.85, but that was early in the year. Then she injured her leg. Now coming back.
Yurchenko layout full, you could see, looked a little tentative on the landing. A lot of times when you have a leg injury, this is the event that can be difficult, and even more difficult is the landing. You can see beautiful form and technique on this vault, and then right here as she goes to land, not really sure. She didn't really bend and absorb into that position. Should still be a strong score though.
Back to the bars. Brianna Gaitis is scheduled to go for Arizona State. Gaitis' season high on this event, a 9.875. But since then, she's had trouble. She has not been able to get back to 9.8.
Well, for her, it's all about the handstands, the position throughout this routine. Nice combination work down to the low bar. And of course, her dismount, it's very difficult. We've seen her nail it. We've also seen her make some mistakes. It's a double front, 2 front flips, blind landing. Oh, like that. When she lands, she just kind of folds in half. So she either steps forwards or back instead of squeezing into the landing position. I actually competed this dismount too, so I know it's very difficult. You'll see right here, double front, and as she lands, her chest just folds forward like that. Puts a lot of pressure on her back as well. Tough to land.
Yeah, you're fighting for momentum, and you're trying to land flat and not step. Do you want to land a little bit on your heels and roll to your toes?
You know, you do, but you got to be actively squeezing into the right position, otherwise the floor hits you.
Shay Fox, senior from Plano, Texas, for Arizona on the beam. Career high last week against Denver, 9.9.
She's got a great story. You know, she retired from gymnastics and kind of was burnt out, and her body was kind of worn out, and was at University of Arizona and kind of got coaxed to go back in the gym and went, you know what, I still think I want to do this. And Bill Ryden talked to her, and boy, has she been fun to watch.
Well, she was a friend of former Arizona star Katie Matuzik, and I'm sure Matuzik was in her ear, and of course that voice that's in all gymnasts' heads saying, you're not done yet, you still have some good routines, and then Ryden just had a closer. But we've seen athletes after the peak of their career. Sam Peshek, UCLA, has been an Olympian race, come back, and now she's as good as she ever was.
That's right, and I think her perspective has also been to enjoy the moments, because it is going to end, and you've really seen her blossom and just enjoy being an athlete for Arizona.
And we've talked about it before, collegiate gymnastics is unique in that it's a team event, and so everyone's relying on you.
Well, and she has stepped up. Beautiful balance beam routine.
Good for Shay on that gainer dismount.
And there's Ali Flores hopping around, cheering. She can't put any weight on that foot yet.
Yeah, I gave Allie a hug when we came in and said how disappointed we are that we don't get to watch her in her final Pac-12 championship. She said, I'll be part of this. And she is. She's in a lot of shots. She's out there hopping around without the crutches. Dana Ho for California on the floor. Dana's career high came recently against Davis, 9.85. 5 of her last 6 have been 9.8 or better. She has momentum on this event.
And a strong opening tumbling pass. Combination finishing with that front 1.5 twist.
And this is California's best team event, number 12. This group of 6 for California put up a total of 49.55 on the floor against Davis. It is the highest total in California gymnastics history.
Nice work there, that 1.5 twist to a front layout half. We see a lot of teams finishing in that front tuck, but adding that half twist makes it a lot easier to stick on the landing.
Right in the middle of the season, California was ranked 23rd on this event. And within 2 meets, they jumped to number 12. They really clicked as a group, and they've been strong ever since.
Finishing front 1.5 twist.
You got to give a lot of credit for California's success to Elizabeth Crandall Howell, choreographs all these.
Take a look right there, that front layout half out of the 1.5 twist makes it much easier to land and be clean.
California's also had some help from a former Cal men's gymnast and volunteer choreographer, Jeffrey Langenstein. Jocelyn Goings.
Wow, big vault for her.
She's got a season best at 9.85. See, stepping in was David McCreary, the associate head coach at Washington in his 9th season.
A lot of potential on this vault. You can see she twisted just a hair early, does kind of jet her to the one side, but it was clean, powerful.
Amanda, have we seen Joanne Bauer smile this much ever in the 10 years we've known her?
She does look like she's having a great time.
She's just terrific this year. I think she knows she has a good team. It's a young team, and she's really enjoying them. It's really nice to see. Gatus, 9.75. Ali Salas, he's had one good routine and one not so good. Out of the bars. She has a 9.85. It came early in the year, but again has had trouble repeating that feat.
But you can see she has dynamic skills. It really comes down to her form, and a lot of these skills, her feet are just a little bit apart, missing those details in her handstands. Finishing double layout, almost over rotates it. So lots of potential here and lots of room for growth still for her in those small, fine details.
Renee List was happy with it. Salas had a 9.625 on floor, but then came back with a 9.775 on fault. Now we see the number for Fox, 9.8. So Arizona's off to a good start on beam. Kristen Howard.
When they had to make the lineup change with Ali Flores out, Howard was the one who stepped in. Unique moves here at the beginning of this routine.
Yeah, she's only been in the beam lineup the last 2 weeks. She had a 9.8 against Texas Women's University and had a 9.85 against Denver. So that's your super sub going 9.8, 9.85 on the beam.
That's right, and a great save there. She was a little crooked on that back handspring layout. Step out. I can tell you, Flora is such a great leader of this team. Those that are stepping up and to fill those shoes want to make her proud. They've worked really hard as a group this season, and they are in it for each other. Beautiful leap combination, very confident on that standing back tuck. Gainer tuck pull off the end. Nice set. And Ali Flores, she likes it, hands her up. She said, hey, you subbed me and you did a great job.
Come and get it, that's my spot. Well, we just saw Desiree Palomares go 9.85 on the balance beam. Now she moves to the floor where she's coming off a career high 9.875 against UC Davis. Sophomore with her biggest floor of her career so far. Seems like all 4 teams now are starting to loosen up a little bit and settle in, and the judges are rewarding them.
Beautiful opening pass there.
Very nice.
We talked to Liz earlier in the season about her, and she said, you know what, this year she's finally relaxing, having fun, and really coming into her gymnastics. And I think that's something we see typically in these collegiate athletes. They learn to be a part of a team. You know, growing up, you're a club gymnast. You compete for yourself, sometimes even by yourself, and then you get here, and this is all about the team. It's not about individual anymore.
Remember, on Super Bowl Sunday, we were at UCLA. California was there as well. And Desiree Palomares set or tied 3 career highs: vault, beam, and this event, the floor. Should be in those same 3 today.
Well, this has been a beautiful floor routine. She opened strong, stuck that second tumbling pass. Both coaches in the background there saying, hey, look, we need this final tumbling pass.
Co-head coaches, husband and wife, which is prevalent in this conference. Oregon State, Utah, the same.
Finishing double tuck.
Oh, that's a great routine. Just finish it here.
Well, big smile on her face, and well deserved.
Yes, Desiree Palomares, get on your feet. That is good stuff.
Well, this is a fun routine to watch, but today she was just about perfect on all these tumbling passes. Beautiful double pike. You could see she opened her chest up so she could land, kept those feet together. Very difficult to do.
Coming off that 9.85, that's going to be another big score, or at least it should be. Here's Allison Northey. Northey also posted a 9.85 earlier on balance beam. Here she is on vault.
Wow, she looked a little high onto the table, like she barely got a block, but no problem, still had great rotation.
She's got a couple of wins. She's got a couple of 9.9s on this event.
Watch her hands when she comes onto the table. It's almost like she didn't get full push off of them, but you would never know. She stayed in control. Little off balance there on the landing.
Next up, on bars for Arizona State, Stephanie Misselli.
Stephanie Misselli on the bars for ASU.
This has been their best rotation so far. They've had 3 scores above 9.7. Strong combination work there with the Tkachev. Excellent handstand, taking it to the low bar. Whoa. Oh, wow. She's doing giant full.
She's okay. Now she has, well, they'll give her, what, 30 seconds here. She's going to the chalk box.
She can't, watch this right here. She goes to put her hands down. She's in that arch position, so it started cartwheeling over to the side, and she completely lost her pressure on that hand. I was worried she irritated her ankle when she came down on the mat, but it doesn't look like it's a problem. She probably is going to repeat that element because she does a combination into that dismount. She needs to stay tight in that position on the turning portion of the skill right here. She almost did it again. Completely sideways, came down and struggled through that double tuck.
She had just come off a 9.8 in their last meet against Air Force, feeling better about this event. But it shows you that fine line between success and not just failure, but falling. Howard 9.825 on the beam for Arizona. Jesse Sisler now. Arizona is halfway through a very strong rotation on balance beam. Remember, they started this rotation in 3rd place.
We know this event is always the make or break for every team. She's starting right off with her tumbling element. 2 back handsprings to the layout, step out.
Hold on.
Very nice.
She's got a couple of 9.95s already on balance beam. Huge number. At Alabama, again,
at Texas Women's University, so twice, both times on the road. It's got to be tougher on the road, right? You don't practice on that beam. You're not in that room. It's a different field.
That's right. On this event, it's all about getting comfortable with the surroundings on this event. You have to get used to what you see.
And here it's just a cavernous arena. This is the basketball arena for the University of Utah, who, by the way, won their first round game in the NCAA tournament and plays later today against Georgetown.
Kick over front. Small balance check there.
And I'd love to point this out to the stick and ball fans. The women's gymnastics team easily outdraws the men's basketball team. Not close.
Well, finishing it up, 1.5 twist. She had a few balance checks throughout, but they're keeping the momentum going. This event is all about staying on the beam, and so far they are 4 for 4.
Get a chance now as we go back to the floor to check the score for Desiree Palomar. She has 2.985 so far in the meet. Ariana Robinson, first time we have seen her.
Well, she has some unique tumbling throughout this routine and opens with a very difficult double Arabian, but even harder, she does it from just a round off. Watch this.
Oh!
Wow, that is very difficult to generate enough power out of just a round off.
Freshman from Virginia, career high 9.975. She has a top 7 score all time on the floor at California already. She's only 3 months into her career.
Nice combination. This music really fits her tumbling personality, is what I would call it. Powerful and dynamic and very impressive. And she finishes again with another tumbling pass just from the round up. You're tired at the end, you gotta generate enough speed, and she does it.
Ariana Robinson, California freshman from Virginia, who says she wants to be an author someday and just put her signature on that floor routine.
Well, this has been an outstanding rotation and another clean routine. Very difficult right here at the end. Double pike just from that round off. We typically see that pass, but it comes from a round back handspring, so nice job.
3 9.775s in a row. Washington needs to pop that glass ceiling here with Burleson. She's got 2 wins on this event.
Oh, wow. That should break through that 9.8. We talked about her line and her power on floor. She brings that to vault. Beautiful alignment throughout. But this is the first vault today that we have seen stick on the landing. Watch this. She holds on, bends those knees, presses into the ground, and saves herself at least a 10.
Burleson has 9 straight performances on the vault of 9.8 or better. That's going to be another one. So Arizona State will want to drop the 9.125 of Maselli. They look to Carissa Kraus. She has a season high on bars of 9.875, but it came in the very first meet nearly 3 months ago.
Nice combination work to start her routine off. Sliding that mat in quickly before she winds up for the dismount. Same dismount we saw from Stephanie, giant full double tuck. Oh.
Yeah, you see that it's that injured ankle on the right. She had altered that dismount to take some pressure off of it.
Yeah, and you have to remember, when you have an ankle injury, you're not maybe practicing the dismount as much as you'd like, and little stumble there for her today.
9.775 for Sisler. Lexi Mills, second time we've seen her. Lexi Mills had a 9.725 on bars. Here on balance beam, she is coming off a 9.95. In fact, her last 2 routines on beam are her 2 best routines of the season. That's good timing when you reach the Pac-12s.
Beautiful front aerial, nice fluid combination. That back handspring.
Both calves are wrapped. Are gymnasts ever 100%? Because it's not like you lay off in the off season, you still have to train.
Yeah, and this time of the year, it's always tough. They've been competing just about every single weekend. And you know, it's unique in a sport like gymnastics. We train a lot of numbers, but in your gym, we have what we call soft surfaces. During competition season, you don't get to land on those soft surfaces as much. You get the nagging injuries, and a lot of times they take things like that to prevent them from hurting. This has been a beautiful routine. Dismounting, gainer layout full. Wow, excellent job.
Yeah, Lexi Mills certainly made a jump this year as a junior over her sophomore season. All of her scores dramatically increased. 9-9 for Ariana Robinson. She continues to roll on the floor. Here's Charlie Owens. Charlie Owens going all around today. Owens, a 9.8 on bars, a 9.65 on beam. She has hit 9.9 on the floor twice this season.
Oh, looked a little short there and kept her knee straight, so she bounced out of it a little bit.
Back in 2013, she was the California State Regional Floor Champion.
Front 1.5 twist, much better landing there. A strong finish, 1.5 to front layout, clean landing. She had that little bobble there on that first tumbling pass, but finished up strong.
Charlie Owens, sophomore from California. So far, we're seeing a pretty competitive meet here between these four: Arizona State, Arizona, California, and Washington. Session number 1, but these scores then are forward to the night session, so it's all 8 teams against one another. Burleson, a 9.875 for UW. And here's Stephanie Stowe. We only expected to see Steph in 2 events. This is her 3rd.
Oh, wow. Looked like she came onto the table lacking a little bit of speed and momentum. Wasn't able to block off enough, and of course, came in short. Get a better look right here. You'll see her shoulders close really early, and she starts that turn, and that takes away from the power, the height, and the rotation.
And you need that height to give yourself time to finish the maneuver and land square. 9.75 for Carissa Kraus. And now here in the anchor spot, Taylor Alex. Remember, they had that 9.125. So pressure on these last 2. Kraus has come through. Now it's up to Taylor Alex. She added this routine mid-season when she came here to Utah. That was her first ever all-around. And she posted a 9.85 on that event in this building.
Nice opening combination, a little short of that handstand. Finished with that full twisting double back.
She was 2nd at Nationals back in 2011 on the uneven bars. And we were talking about her decision to leave the University of Utah after 1 season because she wanted to be up on 3 events and there just wasn't room. That's one of the problems at the University of Utah. They have so many stars. It's hard to break into lineups. Madison Cindric with the anchor spot here on the beam for Arizona.
Good news for her, the pressure is off. They've had 5 solid scores to this point, the lowest being a 9.75. So that would be the goal, to knock that score out, and she's capable of doing that. Back handspring layout, step out. Beautiful.
Cindric already has a 9.775 on vaults, a 9.85 on bars. Freshman in the all-around for Arizona because of the injury to Ali Flores. She is the current Pac-12 Freshman of the Week.
And she looks confident on this event. We've seen her handle pressure on bars. Remember, they had that mistake, and she came right up and nailed that routine, and now last up on this event. And she's got a good shot to knock out that 9.75 if she's clean here. Wow. She is impressive today.
Arizona knew that they had an opportunity on balance beam. It was one of their stronger events. They've gone as high as 49.45. They did that right here at the end of the season. Charlie Owens, 9.75. Once again, Tony Ann Williams, and we're watching a very talented athlete struggle just a little bit today.
Well, this is the event that she has shined on throughout the entire season.
Yep, this is her event. She's number 4 in the country. She owns the top 2 floor routines in California history.
And watch this. Huge double layout.
So far today, a 9.75 on bars, a 9.775 on beam. Certainly respectable numbers, but for her pedestrian, she's usually up over 9.9.
I mentioned how fun she is to watch. Lots of personality on this event. And everything she does has that kind of power and height, including those leaps and jumps.
She has an incredible 29 individual wins this year. That's by far the most in this conference. As comparison, the great Georgia DeBritz has 24. So 29 wins for Tony Ann Williams, and 9 of those have come here on the floor. And we're told that Tony Ann Williams has a chance here to push California past Washington for the lead. She needs a 9.85, and California will go in front.
That might have done it.
Wow. So
We've watched her on this event over and over, and she delivers that big gymnastics. She's excited.
This is California's strength, the floor. Remember that 49.55 against UC Davis was the highest in California history. And for Tony Ann Williams, your freshman year is all about learning things. Learning about competing, learning about big crowds, learning about all the demands on your time, and learning about being your best when you're not at your best.
This Pac-12 Gymnastics production is brought to you in HD by Xfinity, Time Warner Cable, Cox, and Bright House.
And we have a new leader as we go to the 4th rotation. California, a great floor rotation. Look at that, they go 49.325. It's not their best of the season, but it's certainly their best of the day. Their first time over 49, a 147.025 for the Golden Bears. So they made a lot of ground up on the floor, and now they have to finish. Meantime, Washington sitting in 2nd place. Joanne Bowers, her 9th season, was the 2007 Pac-10 Coach of the Year back in those days, has taken the Gym Dogs to the West Regionals every year. She has been at Montlake. And she's unique in that she spent time as a gymnastics judge after college. So she's been on both sides. And someone told her to go into the light, and she became a coach. Got away from judging. Haley Burleson for Washington on the vault.
Well, this was the vault of the rotation. Beautiful form, held onto that landing, 9.875, the highest score Gives you a great view of what the judges are looking for. Beautiful distance, perfect position on the landing.
So 9.875 for Haley Burleson on vault. Lexi Mills on the balance beam, 9.85 for Arizona.
Well, this was a big rotation on the balance beam. Counted many 9.8s, and this was one of them. All the way through to the dismount. We saw her on bar, she had her game face there, and she brought it to the balance beam.
On the floor, two good performances by California. They were solid all the way through. Ariana Robinson goes 9.9.
Well, with some unique tumbling, which is not easy to do, but we knew she was capable of it. A solid routine and solid score. And
we've seen this, right? In the anchor spot, when they need a big score, Tony Ann Williams, 9.925.
She has the power, and today she was just about perfect, nailing all three passes. Big smile and even some tears from her over that routine.
For California on the floor, 49.325. It brings them from third to first. And now they just have one rotation left. And remember, post a big number and get yourself ready for the night when the other four teams come in: Utah, Stanford, Oregon State, and UCLA. The attendance number is in for the first session, 9,166. They're going to get 25,000 people through this building in one day. We go to the final rotation. We come back to Salt Lake.